Why, good morning. It is Monday morning, December the 18th. So glad you're here. Here's what we're working on this morning. We'll have the latest on the Israel-Hamas war as calls for a ceasefire, they continue to grow.
Closer to home, a 9-year-old Hamilton boy is in serious but stable condition after a fire in his family's home.
Bills Mafia waking up mighty happy this morning as they kept their playoff hopes alive with a statement win over them Cowboys. Come on in here. Hello, Annette Hom.
Hello, Timbaland.
Hello, Brian Wood.
Hello, all you guys.
Yes.
Everybody, everywhere.
Yes.
Everybody. Morning.
Oh, goodness. Has the rain stopped yet?
No, it hasn't actually. No, we got so much rain yesterday.
Oh, yesterday was a yucky one, huh?
Yeah, it just continued on and on and on. It finally tapered off yesterday evening. Thankfully, just in time for the Linden Santa Claus parade.
Were you the Grand Marshal of that as well?
I was not the Grand Marshal, but I was ensconced in the back seat.
Santa Claus has to go before Brian Wood in the Linden Santa Claus parade. He's the last float.
Ah, yes, of course. But at least the rain, because we were thinking all day, oh no, this is going to be a washout. Oh, gee. But it tapered off.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but right now we are getting some light showers, some drizzle. The humidity is 100%. The temperature is mild. The temperature went up to 8 degrees yesterday evening, and now it's starting to fall, and it's going to continue to fall as the day goes on. We're sitting at 5 right now. We're going to hit 2 by later on this afternoon. So be prepared. The wind is going to kick in. So the showers, drizzle, maybe some flurries later on as that temperature falls, and then some snow in the forecast for overnight tonight. And we'll tell you how much we're anticipating coming up as we look at the details. Right now, let's have a quick check on traffic. Nothing to talk about, no collisions, construction's coming to an end. Keep in mind the Burlington Canal lift bridge closed until Wednesday morning. So looking at that exclusive camera, nothing to see at the 403 and Waterdown Road. MTO traffic cameras, just to give you a few, just a kind of an overview here. Here's Nikola Tesla Boulevard, so Toronto-bound lanes toward the Skyway. Away from us, other side of the Skyway, you can see the light shower activity, the wet roads that we have. No problems on the roads at Appleby Line. Looks good. So we'll talk about weather and traffic in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. We start in the Middle East because Israel is facing sustained calls to enter into a negotiation period with Hamas for a ceasefire from some of its closest European allies after Israeli troops killed 3 unarmed hostages who were waving a white flag. I want to bring in Simone Gavros, who joins us in studio this morning with the latest on the war. Simone.
Hi, good morning, Tim. Well, France, the UK, and Germany are among the countries that joined in on the global call for a ceasefire this weekend. And now demands are growing for the government to relaunch truce talks. Now, this is the scene in Gaza as of Sunday as the war continues to rage on. Smoke can be seen over the city of Khan Yunis. You can also hear sounds of explosions in the distance. Now, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insists that the Israeli military will keep fighting until Hamas is removed from power and all hostages are returned. Palestinian health officials say that the war has killed over 18,000 people since it started 10 weeks ago. Washington is also expressing growing unease with civilian casualties, despite providing the military and diplomatic support needed to sustain the war and vetoing a call for a ceasefire at the UN earlier this month. The United States' defense secretary has landed in Israel today to discuss the ongoing war. Now, the UN Security Council is expected to gather today to vote for a ceasefire in Gaza to allow for humanitarian aid to access the Gaza Strip. Annette, I'll send things over to you.
Okay, thanks very much. Let's move closer to home now, where a crash on the QEW near Oakville has sent at least 1 person to hospital. It happened around 10:30 last night. A car and a pickup truck crashed near Third Line, the off-ramp there, trapping the driver of the car. She was taken to Oakville Hospital with a leg injury. Nobody in the truck was hurt. The Third Line on-ramp was closed for more than 2 hours after the collision. Burlington OPP are looking into the cause.
9-year-old boy is in hospital in Hamilton after being pulled out of a burning building with no signs of life. Fire officials say the boy was vital signs absent when he was rescued by firefighters early Sunday morning.
They crashed in the door and more fire came, and they wasn't long before they brought a small boy out, young boy, 9 years old, and they brought him out and they had him right here in the ground working hard to resuscitate him.
The fire department got a call about 1:45 yesterday morning about a fire in a townhouse on Tower Crest Drive. They say they faced smoke and flames when they got there and were alerted by a neighbor that a child may be inside the house. Hamilton Fire quickly found a child on the upper floor. After getting him outside, witnesses say, as you heard there, they did CPR in several minutes to get him breathing again. The boy is said to be in serious but stable condition. Ontario Fire Marshal is investigating the cause of this fire, but so far police say they have not found any criminal wrongdoing.
A study shows using fire-resistant materials in introducing buffer zones could drastically reduce the wildfire risk in this country. University of Waterloo researchers say if people just removed shrubs and trees from near their homes and stored firewood further away, they could reduce the risk of their homes being destroyed by wildfire by up to 75%. The study comes after a record-breaking wildfire season in Canada this year, one which losses shatter records set in 1995 and left the Golden Horseshoe covered in smog for several weeks.
A 29-year-old man from Oakville is missing. Halton police say Mohammed Al-Sawi was last seen in the area of Cornwall Road and Trafalgar Road around 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. He's 5'6", slim build and short brown hair. He's believed to be wearing a black jacket with a hood, black pants, and black running shoes.
Animal shelters around the Golden Horseshoe are filling up. There are hundreds of cats, dogs, and other small pets waiting for adoption in Niagara, Halton, and Hamilton. The rising cost of pet food and care is being blamed, especially after so many pets were adopted during the pandemic. Now, if you're not able to help out by adopting an animal, you can still help these animals out by donating food and cash, along with old blankets and towels to line kennels. And a reminder, just before 8 o'clock this morning, we will meet an adoptable pet. It's part of our weekly segments. This week, it's from the Animal Adoptions of Flamborough. We're told it's a little dog.
Ooh, okay.
Well, Ontario's public elementary teachers have approved a contract with the province. 90% of the union's 80,000 teachers voted in favor of the deal, ending more than a year of negotiations. The contract is retroactive to September 1st of last year and runs until fall of 2026. The deal requires one more sign-off from the Ontario Public School Boards Association before it takes effect. That vote is set for this week. 3 other teachers' unions are working on their contracts. Well, Santa Claus has invaded a neighborhood in Brantford. Actually, it's more like 200 Santas. These are 12-foot tall inflatable Santas. They started lining Dufferin Street in Brantford. Now they've spread out to a few side streets as well. The giant inflatable Santas popped up a few weeks ago, and every day more are joining them. Similar displays have sprouted up across North America. And these Brantford neighbors say they're just proud to be part of it locally. That's really cool.
Yeah, I love when neighborhoods are doing that. Oh, yes. A week today.
Christmas, yes.
Santa will be resting about this time because he would have a busy, busy night. So look forward to that and lots more on Santa Claus coming up. Let's talk about the Buffalo Bills as we get into sports tonight. They're coming off a huge win over Kansas City last weekend. Tough again yesterday, welcoming the hottest team in the league, the Dallas Cowboys, into Orchard Park on a rainy Sunday night.
Allen, here comes Parsons, runs away, throws on the run, has a man, caught, touchdown, it's Cook.
Yeah, this one all Buffalo as Josh Allen and James Cook paced the offense, hooking up there to extend the lead. Dominating effort by the Bills on both sides of the ball. Cook would finish with 179 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Here's the other one right here. The defense held Dallas to only 10 points, winning 31-10 and keeping those playoff hopes alive. They moved to 8-6. They head to L.A. to face the hurting Chargers on Saturday.
Dolphins begin at their own 40. Going deep, right there! What a perfect pass!
No contest for the Dolphins in Miami as they would eliminate the New York Jets from playoff contention, shutting them out 30-0. Nice, so that's a 60-yard touchdown by Tua Tagovailoa to Jalen Waddle. Raheem Mostert ran in for a couple of scores. So the Dolphins, they moved to 10-4 atop the AFC East. They have a couple of tough games before facing the Bills to wrap up the regular season in 3 weeks.
On the tape of Bujo, there's a quick shot from Van Acker, attempted, second one, they score!
Yeah, we hit the ice where the Bulldogs were hoping to sweep the weekend in Kingston, but found themselves down late, but Merrick Van Acker would tie it with under 2 minutes to go, and we were off to overtime, where the Frontenacs would get the extra point. Thanks to Gabe Frascus. Brantford is off to their Christmas break with a 6-5 overtime loss, but they're looking pretty good, sitting in third spot in the conference, just a point behind Mississauga and Ottawa.
Stone and Stevenson will break short-handed. Stone into the zone to Stevenson. Scores!
Things not looking rosy for the Ottawa Senators as they dropped a 4th straight game. This time to the defending champs from Vegas. Golden Knights scored 3 times in the middle frame and beat the Sens 6-3. So they sit atop the NHL standings, 1 point ahead of Vancouver, who kept pace in Chicago.
Over to Bedard. Top of the circle, he shoots, save, rebound, score!
Yeah, rookie phenom Connor Bedard facing off against his childhood team. The Canucks, for the first time, would set up a couple of goals for the Woeful Hawks to keep pace with the high-powered Canucks, but Brock Besser would tie Austin Matthews for the league lead in goals at 23. Vancouver, they hold on for the 4-3 win.
Yay, Monday morning again, and kind of a wet one here this morning, unfortunately. 11 minutes after 6 o'clock on this 18th of December. Let's look at traffic first of all. There are no collisions, no real volume just as yet, just the wet roads to contend with. 403 and Waterdown Road moving nicely, so no problems right there, no problems in the Hamilton area. MTO traffic cameras, we'll go to St. Catharines first of all. Check the QEW and Highway 406, nothing to see right there. Coming up toward the Skyway, going past Nikola Tesla Boulevard's good. The 403 junction around Brant Street, no problems. Same with the Ford plant, but as you can see, yes, we do have slick and greasy roads this morning because of the, well, one, high relative humidity and the light drizzle that we're getting at the moment. Okay, to our temperature right now. Temperature this morning is on the mild side. We are sitting at 5 degrees. So a seasonal overnight low, just as comparison, what we figured we should be around for this time of year, is -7. So +5, bit of a breeze, 100% humidity, and some light drizzle that we have this morning. Air quality, no problem, low risk category, morning and afternoon. For school today, temperature falling today. We're going to hit 2 degrees by later on this afternoon, and that shower activity, that drizzle, could cycle into some flurries later on as that westerly wind pulls in some cooler temperatures, west 20 gusting to 40. But yeah, there's that chance of some flurries later on today. But wait, speaking of flurries, the cold front is going through, and that's going to pull in much chillier air and precipitation, and that means some snow tonight, 2 to 4 centimeters possible around the Horseshoe. Halton Peel, Toronto could get as much as 5 centimeters. Should come to an end tomorrow morning, and then we'll start to see some clearing. But today, temperatures generally 2 and 3 degrees, so we're going to fall from where we are right now to those values as the day goes on. Well, 1 for Guelph and Kitchener. There's that chance of some mixing as the day goes on. And when I say mixing, I mean showers, flurries. So -2 to -4 tonight. Otherwise, -6 for Hamilton, Brantford, chillier. But as I say here, anywhere from 2 to 5 centimeters of snow around the Horseshoe. Not a huge whack, but just enough to cause problems on the roads tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow is going to be a chilly day. -1 to -2, 0 for Burlington. But we will start to see some sunshine as the day progresses after a little bit of that lingering snow in the morning. But out the door this morning on this 18th of December, we have some drizzle, light winds, temperature mild at 5. Long range coming up. Annette, Tim.
We say good morning to Emily Vukovic. Hello.
Good morning.
What's going on?
Well, coming up on Chit Chat, we have a rock star who is selling off an article of clothing or accessory, I guess you could say, for a lot of money, but viewer discretion might be advised.
Okay. That's a tease. That's what we need for a morning show, right? Okay. There we go. We will see you at the couch in, let's say, half hour.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Coming up after the break. Into business news, and a historic trial kicked off in a Hong Kong courtroom this morning, and it could have major implications for the future of that city. We'll see you in 2 minutes. Coming up on 6:17, here's the numbers for you. Canadian dollar's up 2 basis points this morning, sitting at 74.75 cents U.S. Gold up $1, 20.36.70 an ounce. Crude oil down 49 cents, 71.29 a barrel. Off to Europe we go. Hey, Europe, Monday. Markets are up in London, down in Frankfurt and Paris.
In Asia, markets are down in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. Checking North American markets on Friday, the Dow was down 250 points, but there were slight gains on Wall Street.
All right, good morning. So glad you're here on this Monday, December the 18th. Let's get into some business news, and this is a big one because a landmark Hong Kong trial has opened for prominent activist and publisher Jimmy Lai. So he faces a possible life sentence under the national security laws imposed by Beijing to crush dissidents and pro-democracy advocates. The 76-year-old Lai was arrested in August of 2020 during a crackdown on the city's pro-democracy movements following huge protests that saw thousands of people in the city streets. So the closely watched trial is widely being viewed as a trial of press freedoms and a test for judicial independence in the former British colony, which returned to Chinese rule in 1997.
Nissan is trying to get back market share in China by expanding research ties with a leading Chinese university. The Japanese automaker is launching joint research next year on how best to reach Gen Z buyers and the social responsibility of automakers in battery recycling, charging stations, and other EV-related issues. Nissan and other auto companies are really playing catch-up from a boom in electronic vehicles in China, where several new companies have gobbled up market share.
Biotech giant Illumina says it will undo its $7.1 billion purchase of the cancer screening company Grail. So the company had lost legal battles with antitrust enforcers in the U.S. and Europe. The San Diego-based company says it made its decision to divest after a U.S. appeals court ruled that the merger could violate antitrust laws. The European Union back in October ordered the deal to unwind because it closed in 2021 without approval from regulators in the 27-nation bloc. Illumina says it will complete the divestment next year.
The company that makes the video games Call of Duty and World of Warcraft is settling a $54 million U.S. discrimination case brought on behalf of its female employees. The settlement in California resolves allegations that Activision Blizzard, quote, discriminated against women at the company, including denying promotion opportunities and paying them less than men for doing substantially similar work. Allegations of workplace discrimination dragged down Activision's stock price in 2021, and that paved the way for Microsoft to buy the company.
So after tense negotiations and public sparring throughout the year, Canada's major telecom carriers have reached a deal to offer wireless coverage on Toronto's subway system. Spokesperson for Industry Minister François-Philippe Champagne says the companies reached the agreement on Thursday but declined to comment further. So Rogers spokesman adds the terms of the deal could not be disclosed due to confidentiality. Both Bell and TELUS were pushing for a joint build of the TTC's mobile network using a consortium model similar to that of Montreal's Metro rather than the licensing fee model Rogers had proposed.
The Duchy is coming back to Tim Hortons. It's one of 4 retro donuts that Tim's is bringing back for its 60th anniversary next year. The sweet, square-shaped donut with raisins was one of the original treats that Tim sold when it opened in 1964, but the Duchy was phased out in the early 2000s. It's going to be back January 10th. The other 3 retro donuts being kept under wraps for now. So if you could pick one of those retro donuts.
I can get behind a Duchy.
Yeah?
So it hasn't been around since the early 2000s?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not totally up on the donut game, but
I'm going for a sugar twist.
Oh, you know what I'd like
Those
there?
are my
Do they
favorite.
still have like the white ones with the filling in the inside? Can you still get
Like a
those?
jelly?
Like a jelly with the jelly ones?
I think so.
Okay. Shows in my donut game.
We need to up
we
our
don't get-
donut research.
Yeah, well, because we don't get them. We get a box of donuts.
We
and
get a
like-
box of donuts,
Yeah.
that we're very grateful for. But
Yeah.
normally they're gone by the time we get in there.
Right, totally, yeah. I'm going to go maybe have a look at our break
Okay,
because we're taking a little
looky-loo.
break. All right. A little looky-loo. Yes.
We'll be back right up.
Good morning, 624. It is Monday morning, right to our MTO traffic cameras. Yes, you will notice shine on the highways there. We're getting some light drizzle around the horseshoe at the moment, enough to make things a little greasy and slippery, so be careful. No problems on traffic at all. I mean, no volume. It's getting a little bit slow here, but there you can see a little bit heavier drizzle here south of 2. That's the North Shore Boulevard camera. Nothing at Appleby Line. Flipping ahead to Erin Mills Parkway, getting a little busier now, but really no problems at all. 403 at Burnham Thorpe, up from the Ford plant's doing fine. Temperatures right now, look how mild it is to start this Monday morning. 5 degrees Hamilton, 4 Grimsby, but 6 for Mississauga and Toronto. We compare that to seasonal temperatures. 0 for the daytime high, -7 for the overnight low is where we figure we'll be. So this time of year, so that's pretty mild. Yeah, we are going to get some mixing today. We could get some showers cycling into some flurries. Those are our sun times and records for today. For school today, 3 degrees by the first bell, so temperature dipping from where we are now, and it's going to continue to fall to 2 by later on, so showers possible this morning, and then that mixing situation, maybe some flurries later on this afternoon. So today, 2 degrees is where we're going. There's that mixing. -6 tonight with a wind chill of -13. Those winds are really going to pick up, and we're going to get a little blast of snow, 2 to 4 centimeters, maybe 5 in Halton Peel, Toronto. Tomorrow, high of only -2, bit of sun after the flurries in the morning, and then we get better temperature 4 for Wednesday and Thursday into winter. Both days some sunshine, and then cloudy skies for Friday, Saturday, and Christmas Eve on Sunday. That's forecast. Annette, Jen.
Thank you, Brad.
Well, you never know what you'll find at a thrift store. A cheap find at a thrift store has turned into a 6-figure windfall for a woman in Virginia.
So this vase was picked up at a Goodwill store in Richmond, Virginia for $3.99. The bottle-shaped design features a swirling pattern blown with translucent red and opaque seafoam green glass. Now, the woman who bought it said she noticed it on the shelf immediately and is pretty sure it was Murano glass made in Italy. She shared photos of it on a Facebook group where members identified it as a Vanini from the Italian glassworks company. Experts confirmed the piece's authenticity. The vase was initially valued to be auctioned off between $30,000 and $50,000. It sold for $107,000.
Get out.
U.S. More than double the top estimate.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
Wow. Yeah, I guess somebody just didn't know what they had when they're turning that into the thrift store.
Yep.
Huh? Or maybe they did. And they just wanted to pass it along.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see you in a couple minutes on this Monday morning.
1 week from Christmas.
1 week from Christmas.
Are you ready?